Welcome to Mike Brown Barbecue. Today we're going to do a beef shank, aka Thors hammer, on this 250 gallon offset pit. Stay tuned. Alright folks, so it's time to get us a fire started for this beef shank. What you'll see in here is some coals that I repurposed. What I always do out of here, I didn't film it because it's messy, is I rake all my coals down into my basket and I shake it out and I reuse those coals right there, basically charcoal. Anyway, what I got here, some dry water oak that we're going to layer up in here for the base of our fire, for our coal. Three pieces on bottom, three pieces on top. I want to burn this down fairly quick. These are split up in smaller pieces, so we can do that. And to start this fire today, I'm just going to use my propane torch. That's just the easiest way to do it. Just like that, we got this little fire going. So next thing I want to do is we're going to make our garlic herb butter that we're going to inject into our beef shank. I'll bring you guys back for that here in a minute. Stay tuned. Alright guys, for our butter spread, our injectable that we're going to put in this beef shank, I'm going to use Land O'Lakes garlic and herb. And I'm going to put it in this Yeti cup right here. I will forewarn you that this stuff is pretty potent. It's already kind of salty, so you're going to have to cut it. But it's real garlicky, it's real herby. It's good to melt down and inject. Then we'll go in with a stick of unsalted cream butter. Just like that. And what I'm going to do with this is just put it on my pit as the fire burns down and let it all melt together. I'll bring you guys back when we get ready to season up the shank and get it injected. Stay tuned. Alright folks, what I got here is a prime bone-in beef shank from my local HEB. It's a little slippery, aka Thors hammer. What we're going to do with this is we're going to inject some garlic herb butter melted up in here, get a little bit of extra flavor in there. And we'll shoot it up from the top right here, deep down in that muscle, as much as it'll take. When it starts to get a little hard, back out, give it a minute, and that butter will solidify in there. And you can see the meat starting to expand as you're shooting it up. I'll put a little bit down here from the bottom. Just like that. A lot of bones down there. And I'm going to leave that in there for a minute, let that butter kind of solidify. Now we got that nice and plumped up, full of our garlic herb butter. We'll go ahead and get her seasoned up. On the outside, some 16 mesh black pepper. A lot of people like to untie these and trim the silver skin off and all that. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna shred it all up anyway. It's all gonna eat the same. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Go heavy with the pepper. Pepper builds bark. You want to season this pretty heavy because it's a heavy piece of meat. Then we'll go on with our Fiesta seasonal salt. Put you a generous amount on there. Add it in. One thing I've noticed the difference between this stuff and Lowry's is this stuff is not as salty as Lowry's is. You can use more of it. It's got more savory. I recently ran out of this and used some Lowry's I had and seasoned it up with about the same amount I'd put on there on a pork belly. It came out way too salty. Alright folks, we got that seasoned up, injected up. I still got quite a bit of butter. We'll probably do a little bit of basting with this later on. So let's get her put on the pit. Stay tuned. Time has come to put this on the pit. Grates are a little bit dirty. We'll scrape these off a little bit. Done a lot of smoking on here the past couple of days. And this is what she's looking like, all seasoned up, sweated in real good. We're just gonna stand her up. Right there. I want to stand it up this way. Reason being is all my meat is on this side. There ain't nothing but bone right here, so I want this to catch the brunt of the heat. I'm gonna close the door carefully where this doesn't fall down. If it gets to a point where it can't stand up, I'll just lay it on its side. Really ain't that big a deal. But let's go ahead and go back here to the fire and get our flavor wood on. Stay tuned. Alright folks, as you can see, this coal bed's about burnt down except for a little bit right there on the edge. We'll go ahead and we'll smash all this down, and I'll take this unburnt piece right here, just lay him up right there in the middle. It's a small coal bed, but it'll burn. So what I'm going on with first, just a big piece of dense red oak. We'll put that dude right there, followed by another piece of barky red oak. Big, dense. Put him right there. And then what I'm going on next is a piece of live oak. I just split this live oak up about 4 months ago. It's borderline ready to burn, but it's good to burn with some drier wood and get you some good deep smoke flavor. Probably about 35% moisture in that piece of wood right there. And then one more piece of red oak right there. And as you can see, everything's taken off. What I want to do with this beef shank, smoke at 250, 275, for about 3 to 4 hours. Then we'll open it up and look at it. Check it for internal temp, because I've never smoked a beef shank before. If it's temping about 180 is my target temp, I'm gonna pull it off, wrap it in foil, and rest it overnight, and we'll eat it tomorrow and let all that meat in there gelatinize and render down. So that's taken off. I'm gonna go ahead and close my firebox down to about 1 inch open and let that good smoke blast that meat. Next time you guys see me will be either when we manage this fire or we look at that beef shank, whatever comes first. Stay tuned. All right, bringing y'all in for temperature update. I'm about to drop below my 250 target temp. Got that good smoke barreling out, but I need to tighten up my fire. All right, so we'll open the firebox door. As you can see, my spacing's real far apart. This will help you burn a real low and slow fire, but it actually help you burn at a lower temp. So we need to tighten things up a little bit. So we'll grab this log right here. Move him over like that. Same thing for this dude. We'll scoot this log back just a little bit. Also, and that'll help me burn a hotter fire and still keep low and slow. So we're going to close this back down to about 1 inch and let it do its thing. A little bit of smoke, but mostly clean. That's due to my red oak being really dry, but still good to burn. That first hour we put that real thick smoke on it, so it'll keep burning. And that's pretty efficient fire right there. But anyway, I'll bring you guys back here in a little bit. Probably in about 1.5 hours, we'll take a look at that shank and see what she's looking like. Stay tuned. All right, folks. So it's been about 2.5 hours. It's time to manage the fire. As you can see, everything is burnt down. We got everything we could out of that setup. I got a constant 250, 285 out of that. So it's good burn time. Still a little bit of this green live oak log left. We'll put him right there in the middle. Good, nice, hot coal bed. That's to be expected with a log that's got a lot of moisture in it like that. So we'll go on with this big old dry red oak log right there, spaced far apart where it don't burn up too quick like these barky red oak logs. The spacing will give you long burn time. You got big dry logs, space them as far apart as you can, and they'll burn a lot longer. This is another one of those live oak dense logs. I'm gonna put it on the front this time, right there. And that's catching on real good. We're gonna close the door down to about 1 inch and let it do its thing. Let the pit draft. Bring all that good smoke over our shank. And we'll check on this shank here in about 30 minutes to 1 hour. We'll be at that 3.5, 4 hour mark. And we'll see how it looks. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, so we are officially at the 4 hour mark. Let's take us a look and see what our beef shank is looking like. And it is starting to look good. You notice how much bone is sticking out now. That means the meat's pulling down. It's cooking. Open up my other door and clear the smoke out a little bit. It did fall over when we managed the fire the very first time. I had to open up the pit, put it back, so this ain't the first time I've actually seen it. But that's what she's looking like right there, guys. Looking real nice. Get you a little close-up action. That glare from the sun won't hurt nothing. You can see got some nice bark starting to form up on there, which is good. We got a lot of the bones showing now. We were about up to right there. Now we're shrunk down to right there. And everything is looking real nice. While I got the smoker open, another thing I wanted to show you guys, I get a lot of requests for, is my hotspot. Everyone asks me how big my hotspot is on my smoker. Well, there's your answer right there, folks. My hotspot ends about right here. So from about right here area this way on that pick. If when I do fill this smoker up, I do put me some blocking logs right in here to shield from the radiant heat. But yep, folks, it's the inside view of my pit. And I freaking beef shank back there. But that's the way that I engineered my pit. I put this round baffle on here. Like I said, that's the hot spot right there. See the smoke collector down here at the end? That smoke collector opening is about the same size as my opening going into my firebox, my exchange. See my low and slow fire back there. Anyhow, yep, the beef shank is looking real nice. And we're gonna go ahead and close this up. I'm gonna let it go for another 2 hours and then we'll check it for internal temp. I'm looking for a target temp of about 180. Once I hit that 180 mark, we're gonna wrap this up in foil and then it's going into my oven where all that collagen and connective tissues can break down overnight. And we'll have this thing for breakfast in the morning. One thing I forgot to do, folks, is I've got this rest of this butter I didn't use my marinade melted down. And I really don't want it to go to waste. So I'm gonna pour it all over my beef shank. Just like so. Kind of give us a herb crust. We'll go ahead and we'll close that back down. Damn it! I didn't mean to do that. Beef shank's still standing. That's also the dangers in the pits. You gotta be careful when you're closing it. Don't let it slip out of your hand. You have your hand or your head in the wrong spot, it's gonna hurt. Which I've not done that yet. Not on this pit. Let's go back here and check on the fire. Burning nice and low and slow. I ain't had to tighten it up. And once you get a real big coal bed, you won't have to tighten it up. This pit will take off and run at about 275, 285. And a lot of people get hung up on one set temp. Pit's gonna run where it wants to run. Today, this pit's wanted to run about 285, 280. I ain't been stressing with it. I ain't been messing with the logs hardly at all. I'm just gonna let it run right there. As long as you run a low and slow fire, you can run a higher temp and still be okay. But anyway, pro tip of the day. I'll bring you guys back at the 6 hour mark and we'll check it and see if it's done. Or manage the fire, whichever comes first. Stay tuned. Alright folks, so we're at the 5.5 hour mark. We're gonna go ahead and check it. If it ain't done, I'm gonna have to manage the fire one more time. So let's see what we got. It's looking nice. Looking nice. Like I said, I'm aiming for an internal temp of 180 because I'm going to rest this overnight. If I was going to eat this today, I would aim for an internal temp of probably 205, 210, something like that. And we're at 155 internal temp, so we still got a long ways to go. We hadn't even hit the stall yet. It was an 8-pound shank. I was hoping to be done with it in 6-7 hours, but that don't look like that's going to be the case. The bark still needs to build up a little bit more anyway, so we'll go ahead and get ready to manage this fire. Stay tuned. Alright folks, let's manage this fire. Maybe this might be the last time I manage a fire before I wrap. You can see everything is completely burnt down. So this is our new coal bed. There's still a little bit left of that. We'll roll it up in the middle right here. Clean the front out for increased airflow. We'll go on with our next logs. What I got here is a real big log I'll get a lot of burn time out of. This is right here is actually water oak. We'll put it on right here. It'll go right there. It's dense. Get some good burn time out of that. And I got a piece of red oak. Go right there. Got a piece of red oak right back here. A piece of red oak right here in the front. I'm gonna shut this down to about 1 inch. Let it do its thing. Stay tuned. Alright folks, we're officially close to the 8-hour mark, about 15 minutes shy. We should be there. If not, we'll have to manage the fire yet one more time, so let's see where we're at. Ah, my shank fell over. Damn it, probably lost all my bone marrow. It's definitely got some bark buildup on it and shriveled up quite a bit. So we got a temp of 182 right there, guys. I'm satisfied with my bark buildup. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna bring this over here and get it wrapped in foil. Stay tuned. So the first thing I'm gonna do before I put this down, I'm gonna put some tallow down. That ought to be enough. You can get this on Amazon for cheap. What it is a filter that you can drain your tallow in. Then I keep it in the fridge. When I get ready to use my tallow, I just put it on the firebox and heat it back up. I think it was like 12 bucks. And here's what she's looking like right there, guys. That bone's popping on the backside, didn't have a lot of meat on it. But we got some good meat there. So we're gonna put this face down like this. And we're gonna get her wrapped up nice and tight. We'll have to use 2 pieces of foil, it looks like. So we'll turn this one this way. Just like that. What I'm going to do next is this is going to go in my oven till tomorrow morning. It's like I said before, If I was gonna eat this today, I'd probably take it to 205, 210, but I'm not. I'm gonna eat it tomorrow. I'm gonna let it rest, let that tallow suck back up in the meat, and let all of the gelatin and all the stuff in the meat, the connective tissues break down and gelatinize, kind of like barbacoa does when you give it a good rest. So next time you guys see this, when we eat it tomorrow morning, stay tuned. All right, folks. So here we are. It's a moment of truth. Let's see how we did on this shank, beef shank. And that looks pretty nice. I'm satisfied with that. It's going to be super tender. Pour that tallow over it. And that's what she's looking like. She is looking real nice. Everything's rendered nicely. It's nice and soft. Alright. So we'll lay it back down on its side right here. And we'll just dig into this and start shredding it. Oh my gosh, this is super tender. It's just shredding apart. That's what you want on a beef shank. It's just a big pile of goodness. Just fall off the bone goodness. There we have it, folks. Nice clean bone. Give my dog something to chew on. Let me go. And Mabel, come on. And Mabel gets the bone. You want it? There you go, big girl. Chickens want it too. One thing I'm a little disappointed in is they didn't cut this bone down enough, so I didn't get no bone marrow. Yep, look at that nice tender meat. Just take a look at that. Don't that look good? Now we need to get this set up for a taste test. Alright, folks. Taste test, moment of truth. I got me some bark of this one. Let's see how we did. Damn, that's good. It's real good. Kind of got the texture of barbacoa. You taste the garlic and herb injected butter I shot up in there too. Man. So I'd do this again. This was worth it. Very good. Real tender. Pulls right apart. Can't beat that. Awesome. Okay, so do a real quick recap of the whole cook. Seasoned it up. 16 mesh black pepper. Bondler's Fiesta seasonal salt. Injected it with a garlic and herb butter. Put it on the smoker. I started it out at 250. Then for about the first 2 hours, put that good smoke on it. And then I ran it up to 275 to 300 for the remainder. We smoked it uncovered for close to 8 hours, about 7.5. And then once it hit an internal tip, 183 is what we read. I wrapped it up in foil and I directly put it in my oven from there at 170 and let it rest at 170 for about 4 hours, and then I bumped the temp down to 150, and then it rested the rest of the night. It rested roughly about 16 and a half, 17 hours, give or take. We pulled this off at 3 o'clock. It is almost 8 in the morning, so that's about right. But folks, all in all, this turned out to be a real good success. It's smoky, it's savory, and most of all, it is tender, tender. A lot of people like to put it over mashed potatoes and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna make a sandwich out of it. Be good for that. So, first time doing a beef shank, aka Thor's hammer. This was a success, guys. A little bit on the high end. If it's something special, kind of like I do a one Wagyu brisket a year or whatever, this falls in that category right there. It ain't something I'm gonna try to smoke every weekend, but it's something I will do from time to time to treat myself. But it's good, very good. All right, guys. Well, I thank y'all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like this content, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.